All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very and extremely special edition of 27 Outs Live as we come to you here tonight with an opening day edition. I mean, this is the time that we've all been waiting for. I say that on behalf of myself, but not just myself, but also Stefan as well. And I'm sure a lot of you who are going to hop on tonight to talk about whatever it is that you guys want to discuss, right? Because unlike the last time we were here, you guys know that we gave you our takes on the Tokyo series, and that was interesting. We got a lot of love on the shorts when it came to those topics on TikTok and Instagram and all that good stuff. But today's the day, right? It's no longer only about the Dodgers. It's no longer only about the Cubs. It's about whoever the hell you would like to get into. But before we get into whatever you want to start with, Stefan, I do want to give a couple of shout outs. We enter tonight with 188. Unfortunately, we did fall short of the goal that we had, which was 200 by opening day. However, that doesn't mean that you should stop subscribing, right? So make sure if you are new here, especially more than anything else, you hit that subscribe button. And we have officially had a TikTok now for about a month. And the good news is, within that first month, you guys helped us reach over 1,000 likes. So shout out to you guys for leaving likes on the TikTok. A lot of you guys also like to leave comments as well. We really appreciate any type of engagement that you guys do when it comes to any of the content that we put out, whether it be long form, such as the live show like tonight, or the short reels that go out on off days. Stefan, how are you feeling? I know you have something that's about to start in just a bit, but other than that, how are you feeling?
Mixture of emotions, man. I started the day, having to deal with some personal shit. So, the day got off to a rocky start, but we handled that as the Tigers make it a 4-3 game because Spencer Torkelson just hit a moonshot to left field.
That's right. I think there's still a couple of games that are happening right now, right?
yeah. So let me just say this. I'm gonna start off on a rant. All right. I'm letting y'all know it's gonna be one of those. Whoever is in charge of the MLB app, the at bat app, get your shit together, bruh.
True, true.
3 o'clock comes. I got the Yankees on the TV. I'm like, let me throw Blue Jays Orioles on the computer. You know how we do. Got 4 games running, 5 games running. Yo, dog. It says this file cannot be played back. Try again later. I was sitting there sick. I'm re-downloading the app. I'm taking the app off the TV. I'm re-downloading it. My phone. I'm refreshing my internet on my computer. I restarted my router in the living room. I'm panicking. I'm like, yo, what the hell?
Right, right.
So all it took was a simple tweet. Is anybody else having problems with their MLB dot subscription service today, or is it just me? Ivan, no exaggeration. Within minute of that tweet going out, it had 7 likes and it had 7 responses. Yeah, this app is dog shit.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that because I saw what you shared with us in the group chat earlier today. But at that point, I didn't know what was happening because I was driving and I was actually going to put a game on my phone and let it play through my car. So I saw your message. I'm like, damn, it looks like I'm going to have to go to the old school route and, put on the radio and listen like that. So that's what I did in the meantime. But yeah, just to add on to what you just said, though, what a terrible start for Major League Baseball, right? You had the Tokyo series up and running, that's for sure. But official opening day was not what some people were expecting.
Yo, dog, and not that I'm trying to be like, I'm trying to act crazy, but you got people that pay $150, $200 for this service to watch all these games, and we pay money for this shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's not free. And you know me, I get it every year. Every year. Yo, 150. Like, I got it set up when my bank knows. Just take the money because he's good for it. Take the money. He's good. He don't worry about it. And your first day out the shoot, you fuck up this bad to the point where I'm like, yo, dog, all right. that Oriole Blue Jay game was over before they even sat down.
Yeah, Orioles really did whatever they wanted to.
So I wasn't worried about that.
Yeah.
But I had a couple other games I'm trying to lock in on. You know what I'm saying? Like I was trying to lock in on Paul Skeens. I had a couple other games that I was, trying to get to. The national game was solid. You know what I mean? The national Philly game was good. I'm trying to lock in Mackenzie Gore striking out the world, and I'm missing it. I'm sitting here sick. You would have thought I was a national fan.
The one thing that I enjoyed today, and I don't want to act like it's completely done, because as I mentioned a minute or two ago, we still have some games happening right now as we speak.
Right.
But also for those of you who are watching right now, shout out to all of you. Please let us know if you could relate to, what it is that Stefan and I are talking about regarding the MLB app, acting up and not having access to watch baseball games. Now, here's my thing, right? I've always been a big believer in technology is going to let you down at some point. And that, of course, happened today, unfortunately, especially if you're a baseball fan. That's one of the worst things that you want to happen. But at the same time, how are you not prepared for the traffic that is coming your way, especially on a day like today?
Yo, dog, do you understand, right? I told my mom, I said, Mom, come after 2 o'clock. Phone's going on do not disturb. Mom's actually in the DR right now. She's good. She landed. She's out there chilling.
Man, your mom be all over, bro. DR?
I'm like, all right. As soon as you get off the plane, let me know you straight. But I don't want to hear from you again until don't call, don't do nothing. We're fine. I said, if I need to call you, I'll call you. And Ivan, wouldn't you have it? Yo, for those that don't know, I'm going to even tell a story. This is funny. My home health aide, Lester, he comes in today at about 9:30. And the first thing he said was, what do you want for breakfast? What are we doing today? Because I know come 3 o'clock, I'm out. You're going to be in your own world. I don't want to even bother you.
Wait, let me ask you this, because I know who Lester is. Lester's an OG. He's been around for some time now.
Right.
But let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Is it because you told him in advance, or did he pull up already knowing?
He knows. Like, he knows. Like, he the other day, he said, all right, so Thursday. He said this to me Tuesday. He said, so Thursday, I'm getting here extra early. We're gonna take care of business extra early. And so he already knew. He came into today knowing, all right, he got to be on his bullshit by the time 3 o'clock comes. When Carlos Rodon's toe stepped off the rubber to deliver the first pitch, Lester was already out my crib.
I like that description.
He was out my house.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I'm not hearing you yell. I'm not hearing none of that. I will see your happy ass on Monday. You have a wonderful weekend. And wouldn't you know it, about 10 minutes later, I was screaming because Austin Wells hit a rocket into the right field seats.
Right.
So Lester knew. He knew,
You know what I really liked, especially leading up to this point, because who knows what's going to happen by the time we get off the mics or even after with some of these games here left tonight on opening day. But I kind of feel like we got a little bit of everything, right? You had some close games such as the Guardians and the Royals that went extra innings. You mentioned Washington and the Phillies. They went to extras as well. We also had some comebacks as well. Yeah.
The Giants scored 4 runs in the 9th inning. Yo, Can somebody stop pitching Wilmer Flores with the game on the line? When y'all gonna learn? He will hit it out. He ain't playing with y'all. Don't pitch to that man. Can I ask politely, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? I saw this and I said, oh my God, he's about to go deep. There's runners on first and second. Yo, as soon as I said, oh, they just threw him up. Because he tried to set him up, threw him a bunch of off-speed pitches. He got it to like 2-2. Wilmer was sitting dead red, hit that shit. That ball ain't land yet, bro. That ball is up in the cloud somewhere. He hit a fucking bomb to the point where I hit the chat. I was like, yo, Wilmer Flores just hit a ball that I don't think this ball's coming back. Are you fucking kidding me? And then, and God forbid we should start like this. But if you're a Pittsburgh Pirate fan today, how do you not win that baseball game? You got your horse on the mound, you're leading 4-2, and you end up blowing a 3-run lead. You end up blowing, they blew a 3-run lead. They were winning 4-1 in the 6th when he was pulled from the game.
Right. We're probably going to see more of that as the season continues.
If I'm a Pirate fan today, brother, I'm resigned to the fact that it's going to be a long year.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean to talk like this, but get ready for the end of the Paul Skeens era before the beginning even starts.
That's right.
Because I got news for you. Guess who he's going to hire as an agent real soon?
Scott Boras?
Paging Scott Boras. Paging Scott Boras. He is going to be the first pitcher in the big leagues to make $600 million.
I could see it for sure.
Yes.
Definitely.
That stuff today would listen, and not to sound crazy, but he had an average start. It was fairly pedestrian, and he still was throwing 101, 95 mile an hour sprinklers, whatever he calls it. It's like a splitter and a changeup. Yo, dog. Wait, what?
You know, I know we know the Pirates aren't going to be making much noise this year. But Paul Skeens, believe it or not, even with how bad the Pirates may end up this season, I got Paul Skeens winning the Cy Young Award. I think he ends this season doing what he did last season ×2. And I think the voters are going to have no choice but to really give this man the award. I think he's that good on the mound, especially as a starter. Now, I say that because today we're going to get into that and some other awards. But since the name has already come up, I figured I'd throw it out there.
That kid, yo, I'm telling you, that kid's a cheat code, B. That kid on an off day can still strike out 10 dudes and look incredible, and he didn't even have his best stuff.
Yeah, there are some athletes, and I've said this for years now, and maybe, you know what? I think it does happen at the professional level, right? Where you just have some guys who have the capability of just rolling out of bed. And whether they stretch or not is besides the point, but they could go do their job as if they warmed up just like the rest of them, you know.
Yo, I'm telling you, yo, if I'm the bullpen catcher, I don't even, all right, just hit the glove, B. Just hit the glove. We're not gonna go over pitch sequencing. Just hit the glove. Just get your arm loose. Are you kidding me? Also, don't be surprised that I tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, to quote the great New Age Outlaws. Somebody tell Willie Abreu it's okay. It's okay, Willie Abreu. 2 home runs, a 2-run shot, and a 3-run shot today. Somebody tell that man it's all right, bro. It's all right.
Willie Abreu's on the Red Sox, right?
He basically drove in all their runs.
Right.
That dude had a day.
Speaking of home runs, I know you mentioned Baltimore and the Blue Jays game, but how about Cedric Mullins and Adley combined for 4 home runs?
4 home runs.
Yo, that's insane.
That first home run Adley hit, that shit was a shot.
Right.
I saw the highlight. I was like, God. Honestly, Jose Barrios, you can't pitch against the Orioles no more. He can't pitch against the Orioles no more. Why? Speaking of home runs, Shohei Ohtani, opening day, opposite field, bomb, Dodgers lead 5-3.
Ohtani. That's how you get opening day started right there. That's how you do it.
Hit a absolute Scud missile to left field.
There's a reason why I wore this shirt to remind you guys how the season ended last year.
Listen, yo, the offenses showed up today.
Right.
There some offenses that showed up today.
Mm-hmm. The White Sox, surprisingly, they scored 8 runs today.
Yo, you know what, Angels? Just end your season right now, dog. You lost to a team that's going to lose 150 games. You gave them their 20th win of the season.
Right.
And you see, it's a wrap. They're going to win 15 games all year, and you got smoked like that?
And they did that against Kikuchi. He started for the Angels today. Yeah.
Yeah. What I will tell you is, yo, you know who I had fun watching today? I had fun watching three guys today. Oh, we got a new guy in here. Hold up. Hold
Yeah.
up, man.
I recognize that name. That's actually my brother. Shout out to my brother out there in Florida watching
Shout
right
out
now.
to you, man. Appreciate the love. Yo, I'm telling you, today felt like Christmas, bro. I woke up this morning. I felt like playing Christmas carols in this motherfucker. I was excited. And listen, here's the beautiful thing. I know it's early in the season, right? It's one game, so we can't get too high and too low. What I can tell you is just the sound of meaningful baseball being played once again, especially when we don't know what the future is going to hold in terms of work stoppages and all that, or everything that is on the table, and everybody who's making predictions on what the next few years are going to look like. Just being able to talk baseball was a beautiful thing, and don't take it for granted. I don't mean to get sappy, but that shit was beautiful today, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to make one more Baltimore Oriole point. Did you hear the story
Of
Tyler O'Neill 6 straight opening days
yes,
with a
yes,
home run?
right.
Somebody want to not pitch to Tyler O'Neill on opening day? Because my lord,
You know, now that I think about it, he might be able to do some good things with Baltimore, man. He's
oh,
coming off
dude,
of a good season that he had with the Boston Red Sox, I believe. And listen, the
that lineup,
Orioles, we've
that
we've sat
lineup,
here and talked about their pitching, but that lineup is
that
no
is no
joke.
joke.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, they scored 12 runs and Gunnar didn't really, you know what I mean? Gunnar had a light day and they scored 12 runs.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I could see Tyler O'Neill playing the Anthony Santander role, like where he comes in, he hits 40 home runs in that yard. He's just a veteran outfield presence. The question is, do the Orioles try to extend Cedric Mullins before we get to the point where it becomes too late? Because if Cedric Mullins goes out and has a year, you're gonna lose him.
For sure.
You're gonna lose him because I think Boston can use a center fielder. Like I could see Boston's outfield next year being Jalen Duren, Cedric Mullins, and Roman Anthony. Can you imagine that outfield?
Right. That'd be really good.
Jesus Christ. Also, the Mets can use a guy like Cedric Mullins. A bunch of teams. Shrek's Royals could use a guy like Cedric Mullins if you want to divvy up some cash. Cedric Mullins in Kansas City is not a bad. That's not a bad look. You talking about Cedric Mullins, Jonathan India, Bobby Witt. You know what I mean? Like Vinny Pasquantino hit a bomb today too.
Yeah, I feel like the Guardians and the Royals gave us a sneak peek of what we're gonna see for the remainder of this season when those two teams go at it. You know?
Oh yeah.
If we're being honest, I think these are two teams who have a fair shot at winning that division. You know, I don't think it's. I know I have the Royals as a favorites. I don't know if you are there as well, Stefan, or if you feel differently. But yeah, those two teams are going to be neck and neck all season long, man. The Guardians, listen, despite some of the moves that they made in the offseason that were somewhat questionable regarding their offense,
mm-hmm.
I'm still giving them somewhat of a shot, especially in a division that is not as competitive as some others.
No. But I will tell you, don't sleep on them Tigers now. Spencer Tarek Skubal had a bad game, and the Tigers are still in this game. Zach McKinstry just hit a triple in the top of the 8th inning.
Where we at right now? Still 4-3 Dodgers?
5-3.
5-3, okay.
5-3. That home run by Ohtani was 5-3.
Oh, right, the home run, yeah.
Tanner Scott's in the game right now, throwing absolute gas. Good luck hitting him. By the way, that Dodger bullpen that's disgusting. You got Tanner Scott pitching in the 8th.
Yo, that team is no joke, man. Honestly, at all. Yo. Like I think they genuinely paid close attention to what everybody was saying about the pitching staff last year.
That's crazy.
And they said, all right, we've got something better for you this offseason.
Also, I'm going to just say this off the rip. Yo, Carlos Rodon looked really good today.
He did. He
He
did.
looked really good today.
Yeah.
Devin Williams, I almost died.
I
I
think he's
was,
gonna be okay, man. Stuff
but
like that happens.
I like the way he responded though. Like it got hairy. He bent, but he didn't break. But you could see why the Yankees are tantalized by the idea that if this guy figures it out, that changeup is disgusting.
Yeah, I saw this video, I think earlier
Oh,
today, of Luke Weaver sitting down, and I think they had asked him a question about what it was like to be able to be up close and personal to
that
see Devin Williams
changeup
pitch on the
is
mound. And he
man.
said something along the lines of like maybe airbending is real after all, because
Serious,
he
yo,
watched Devin Williams pitch and it's different.
that changeup is nasty. That shit, yo, I swear, even Siri was like, "Hold up, wait, what?" That changeup is no joke, man. That shit, it starts at your hip and it ends up in the other batter's box. That shit is nasty.
You know what's crazy? I was listening to a story earlier today. He learned how to actually throw that pitch while playing catch with I believe it was Trent Grissom when he was on the Brewers as well. So they were on the team at the same time. And I only know this because I was listening to the radio broadcast. They got to fill in, things.
Dave Sims.
But yeah, it was a great story though. So he said back in the day when they were both on the Brewers, he was playing catch with Grissom, and it was like, wait, hold on, do you know what you just threw? And Devin Williams was like, well, not really, but I could keep doing it. That's how that went.
That's almost like the story of Mariano's cutter. Where he's playing catch with Ramiro Mendoza in the outfield, and Ramiro Mendoza's like, "Yo, I can't catch this. Stop doing that." Mo's like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not doing nothing. I'm just throwing the ball." Yo, natural cut. That shit is, yo. And so they were telling a story on the game about how the Brewers, his teammates, they were purposely laying off the pitch, but he threw one to William Contreras, bro. That I was like, if it's me, they're gonna have to put me in traction for 9 years. I don't even understand how you go up there and look for something like that. That is disgusting. Like that is pure filth. And I'm like, I don't want to hit that dude.
I mean, but what better way really for a guy like Devin Williams? You made your debut with your brand new team in the Yankees, and then obviously on opening day, you're facing none other than your former team who you spent some years with.
Mm-hmm.
And you end up getting the opportunity to pitch in that game against your former team. Talk about getting all the nerves out while you can. Like, he got everything out today.
Talk about jitters being gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
You said jitters, you said nerves, you said anxiety, you said stress. Now we're good.
Because I know as a player, and this has nothing to do with like guys holding on to things that may have happened or anything like that. But I'm sure deep down inside, once you move on and you're with a new team and you get the opportunity to face that previous team,
to go to work, yeah.
You get like something in you that really wants you to show out, to really show that team that decided to move on from you what they could be missing out on.
And honestly, right, what I will tell you is this. The Yankees letting Devin Williams rock a beard only means one thing to me. He's going to be a Yankee for a very long time.
Yeah, I heard a couple of people say that once the rule became official.
We don't institute new rules for a dude that's going to be here for a year. So basically, it was like, you let me have my beard. You know what I mean? Depending on how this goes, we can have a come to Jesus real early.
You let me grow my beard again. I'll lend you my arm for a few more years.
You know what I mean?
That sounds fair to me. I'm just saying.
And not for nothing. I kind of like that the Yankees are now realizing that these players have personalities. They got edge to them, right?
They've got some guys on the team like Chisholm, Stroman. Like these are guys who wear their emotions on their sleeve.
Mm-hmm. By the way, this is going to sound very, very trivial in the moment. But boy, it feels good to have a center fielder that's out there that knows what he's doing. And I love Aaron Judge, but watching Cody Bellinger just glide to baseballs in center field, it made my heart feel warm. was like, all right, this is what it's like to have a center fielder that kind of knows his way around the terrain. Like I'm very happy. Um, let me tell you something, man. This it's gonna be a fun season. All that Nolan Arenado slander that stopped real quick. He said, "Oh, you talking shit? All right, here's a solo bomb opening day. Go ahead, keep talking, keep telling me I'm a bum."
I did see part of that game as well between the Twins and the Cards.
By the way, Ryan Helsley, that's ridiculous. Coming out throwing a C note on opening day. I just got off of spring training, and you want me to face it? No thanks. No thanks. If I was in the Twin dugout, yo, bro, call up 3 pinch hitters because we ain't hitting this dude.
3 pinch hitters is crazy.
You know what I mean? Some of these guys' stuff was ridiculous. And I'm sitting here watching. I'm like, pitching is already hard, right? It's like it's already difficult to deal with. But then you got guys just out here just inventing pitches. Like they said that this guy Devin Williams started working on a slider towards the end of last season. I'm like, wait. So not only are you throwing 98, but you got a changeup that's borderline illegal, and then you're gonna add a slider to that. No, I'm good. Ryan Helsley coming out throwing a C note. Like it's no, thank you.
Speaking of pitching, did you hear I don't know the exact number. It could be 5, it could be 6, I forgot. But I was doing some reading the other day, and the White Sox, I believe since spring training began up until this point tonight, they've got at least 5 or 6 guys who have to get Tommy John surgery. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I posted about
5
Drew.
or 6.
6.
Damn,
yeah.
Man, that's bad. I mean, you're always gonna have a couple of guys every year, but 6 and the season hasn't even started yet.
6 is nuts,
boy.
Speaking of the Tommy John victims, did you hear about Jordan Montgomery's story?
I did, but in a way, I kind of feel like Diamondbacks were like,
but did you But did you hear the way that it went down though?
No, I didn't hear that.
They're like, "Oh, Jordan, why haven't you been throwing, during spring?" And he casually was like, "Oh, having my elbow repaired." You mean Tommy John? And they were like, "You mean wait? You having Tommy John?" He was like, "Yeah." "Well, you're done for the season?" He was like, "Yeah." And the way he said it was like so like, I'm gonna be out of here. I'm gonna be out of here. It's all good. Like he said it so nonchalantly. It was almost like the reporters were taken aback by how he said it. Where if you watch the clip, it was almost like, most guys are like broken up. Like, damn, I can't get out there and pitch. It's almost like, all right, cool. Y'all didn't want me here anyway. I'm gonna just go get my shit fixed and we'll figure it out on the back end anyway. But the way he kind of delivered the news, where even the reporters were like, hold up, wait, what? You just said that? And they're like, wait. There's no recourse? Like, you just out here saying you need Tommy John with like no further like explanation? Wait, what?
Right. If I had to take a guess, he probably said it that way because of how he knows the team and the Arizona Diamondbacks feel about him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who it was last season. I don't know if it was the owner or perhaps maybe somebody else.
Ken Kendrick was the owner. It was like, it's the
during an interview
contract.
And he basically said that he regrets signing Jordan Montgomery.
That's insane.
And I'm sure ever since, that hit the public, that has stayed in Montgomery's mind.
That is insane work to come out there and just say, yo, by the way, I know we just gave you all this bread, but we regret it.
Right away, too. It's crazy.
That is insane work.
In a way, listen, you don't want to be all at least that public with it. But I mean, listen, what they paid him, I'm pretty sure they were expecting something closer to what he did during his time with the Rangers. And it hasn't been that at all.
I had to Shrek with the comment.
Yeah, legit, Shrek. That's a very good point. Thank you.
Oh man, I had to pull that up. That I saw that out the corner of my eye. I'm like, hold up, wait, what? Damn, Shrek.
I honestly think that no one in this case really cares. I don't think Jordan Montgomery cares, and I don't think the
I don't think the
Diamondbacks care that
Diamondbacks
he's
care
out
either.
either. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I can't wait for that first Diamondback Dodgers series.
Looking forward to that.
And by the way, if you're the San Diego Padres, if you're gonna score that many runs in a game, you're gonna win a lot of games.
They did it against a good team. I think they played the Braves today, right?
Yeah. Let me say something. That offense, they might not pitch with the same capabilities they did a few years ago, but you got Cease, but they brought it today.
Right.
Fernando was 3 for 4. Manny was 2 for 3. Like, that offense ain't no joke.
But I mean, these guys, especially if this is a team that truly wants to stay together beyond this season, you have to play like that, because if not, we know what's coming next.
Yeah.
And I think it's still going to happen either way, whether they like it or not.
Well, I think how they play leading up to the trade deadline is going to determine how this is how this is going to play out. But that offense is still formidable. Jackson Merle had a game today. He homered. He robbed it. He made an insane catch. That guy is Jackson Merle's word.
Yeah, he had a hell of a season for them last year. Didn't he finish like second, I think, in the rookie of the year?
Yeah,
behind Paul Skeens.
That kid
but it really could have gone either way. Like, Paul Skeens is a hell of a player, but what Jackson Merle did for the Padres,
he impacted winning. He impacted winning. You know what I'm saying? Like,
helping them make the playoffs as well.
I understand that Paul Skeens is sensational, but you could look at Jackson Merle's numbers and say his numbers impacted winning more than Paul Skeens' did.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because don't we want to reward winning? And I'm not shitting on Paul Skeens. This is not anything like that. But don't we want to reward winning to where if a guy's helping you make the postseason, you at least say, all right, you know what? Let's pay this dude. Let's give him the award. You know what I mean? Like, you have to look out for the guys that are looking out for you, as the saying goes. And it just seems like, yeah, Paul Skeens is the sexier name because he throws 1 billion miles an hour and he's built like a tank. I get it. But Jackson Merle needs some credit for how, the Padres finished the season and how they started this one, because he was all over the place today.
Right.
And I think that needs to be pointed out. Mm-hmm. But no, it was just good to have baseball back, man. That was my main takeaway. My main takeaway was it's just great to have baseball back.
Mm-hmm.
And what I will tell you,
before you get into that, hold that thought real quick, because we got a few people watching right now. I haven't said it yet, but go ahead and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. You can find us on all three at 27nows3c. For those of you who are here right now, actually, make sure you hit that like button. Some of you guys are already active in the chat. We're going to get to that in just a bit. But also subscribe if you haven't already done so either, right? Got some time for that, not just now, but if you're watching after the fact, later, you got some time.
Oh yeah. While my cat's hissing in the background, though.
I thought they were about to throw hands, bro. That's what it sounded like.
Nah, because what they do is they pick on a girl, but the girl don't play that. She will hook off on these dudes.
She defends herself. Right?
What? If you hook up, if you play around with me, I'm scratching the shit out of you. Mm-hmm. She don't play games. Speaking of not playing games, Juan Soto look crazy. Hey, enough. Look at the fight. Again, the gray cat hooking off on the other cat.
Look at that. It's a nice opening day, bro. We're talking baseball. We got a free pay-per-view match of cats going at it.
Juan Soto looked crazy weird in the mid jersey.
You thought it was weird?
I've gotten used to it by now. Nah, because I didn't really watch many spring training games of this. Watching him in the jersey, like, he looks good, but it's just gonna take some getting used to.
Right.
Speaking of getting used to, Framber Valdez was out there saying, "Oh, you want to do something?"
He looked really good.
A whole lot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Whole lot. Shut out in your neck piece real quick.
I thought he was solid. not only for the Astros, but I thought he did a hell of a job against one of the better teams in baseball in the Mets.
Nah, he pitched his balls off. He did a great job. Josh Hader continues to be a what's the word I'm looking for? A cardiac event waiting to happen. The Mets loaded the bases in the 8th and the 9th inning and did not score. If you're a Met fan and you left 8 runners on base in the last 2 innings of the game, I know it's one game, but you were sitting there going, we paid Pete Alonso how much money? We paid Juan Soto how much money? You know what I mean? What we doing out here? You leaving villages on the base paths.
Right.
Speaking of bugged out, Jose Altuve looked bugged out in left field. I was like, yo, what's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't really look good at all in spring training. I remember more bad than good, I would say, whenever I saw him in left field for the Astros. So the fact that he still looks a little shaky for them now that the season finally began, it's no surprise, man. Like,
I mean, he's 35. He ain't gonna look good.
All right. Yo, Shrek, you're funny, bro.
All right, yeah. Listen, man, what are some of your takeaways from today? Enough about us. Tell me what you got thinking out there. Let's go.
Yeah, so I mentioned it at the top of tonight's show, but just to kind of fill you guys in, if you came in a little later, that's okay. Tonight isn't really about any particular team, right? Tonight is really about all the teams. And obviously, you've heard us talk about quite a few games that took place earlier today. We still have some more happening right now as we speak. But I'm sure you guys were also watching as well. So that's funny. That's funny.
You know who I feel bad for today? You know why I want to play victim for today? You know who I want to praise today? I feel bad for Mackenzie Gore. You strike out 13 dudes, have the Phillies looking hopeless, and you still lose the game?
13. Wow. That's insane.
Struck out 13 dudes. His first 9 out of 12 hitters in the game were Ks. As we like to say in Brooklyn, he was on that bullshit.
For real. I didn't get to watch any parts of that game.
He was
but I did see some of the things that you shared.
Yeah. Filth. I'm talking about like easy 97, 98 with easy filth. Mackenzie Gore was on his bullshit.
The Nationals might actually be better this season, I would say. Not within the realm of the top 3 being the Mets, the Braves, and the Phillies. But I could see them winning a decent amount of games.
Nah, you got CJ Abrams, you got the catcher Ruiz, you got, they got Dylan Crows, they got the kid James Woods, they got some pitching.
Yeah.
The pitching ain't half bad. Listen, the Nationals just have to learn how to win at this level. That's basically what it's gonna come down to. But they got the capability. Now, I wonder if Mike Rizzo says, the general manager of the Nationals, yo, let's just keep this core together and see what we got. Let's not try to blow anything up. Let's not try to trade off no pieces. Let's try to keep this young core together. And I wouldn't be surprised if in the next year, depending on what happens with the ownership group, the Lerner family in particular, if they end up selling the team, and the GM Mike Rizzo says, or the president Mike Rizzo says, let's just keep this together. You know what I'm saying? Let's see if we could keep building a young core, because I like the Nationals. I like them a lot.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to be better this year. I got them finishing just under 500, like 80 and 82 or something like that.
Yeah, I can see it for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of being,
you see this comment here by Shrek. So I saw what happened here, and apparently, I believe he did stay in the game. But had that not happened, could you imagine if we would have lost Mike Trout on day 1 of the season, bro? I would have been like, what's going on now?
I mean, I wouldn't
like, are we gonna give him a chance to end his career off, semi well, or what's
I
going
mean,
on?
I wouldn't be surprised simply because he hasn't been healthy all year for the last 3 years.
It's been a while. It
So
has been
it
some
would just
time.
be like a continuation of what the fuck we've been seeing from you for the last 3 years anyway. And I love Mike Trout, but it's like, yo, dog, all right, enough, bro. Like I'm kind of at the point where he's reaching Giancarlo Stanton territory. Like, yo, just. I mean, it ain't even worth it. You being on the field is more of a hazard to you than a help to us at this point. Crazy, yo.
Yeah. And the crazy part too is it's not like he's at the point where he has to be a full-time DH, right? Like he's not hurting himself out on the field. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of these things are happening simply like, for example, today, had that gone ugly, that would have been an injury that was not his fault, an injury that happened in the batter's box,
Mm-hmm.
Like things could go wrong in ways that you would never even imagine.
Hey, enough. Look at them. Look at them. They still fighting each other. Hey, and it's the girl that won't let him. That won't let the guy get on the bed. Yo, these girl cats are reckless out here. TD, what's up, brother? Happy opening day to you. Merry Christmas, all that good stuff. It's a holiday for us. We
Happy
talked.
New Year.
We talked about Willie Abreu. You know what I mean? I'm good. That kid is good. That lineup, yo, that Red Sox lineup, they're gonna score a shit ton of runs this year.
How about the Red Sox finally just openly admitting, like, listen, we're going to do what all of you wanted us to do all along. And that's put Alex Bregman at third base and tell Rafael Devers to hang up your glove. You're good for now, but you will continue to use a bat here while wearing this uniform.
Okay. So Rick says, hold on. Also, Steph, ESPN terminated the contract from MLB, and now we have Apple TV Plus. No daily games. Plus, what a bleep official start to the season in Cincy. Not anymore. No more 1 p.m. games. Wow. Mm.
Wait, are you saying no more 1 p.m. games in general or for the Reds?
Or opening day, because the game started at 3 today.
Right.
There was no 1 o'clock games. By the way, I just want to say this. Shout out to Joe Buck for calling the Yankee Brewer game today. That made me feel good. While hearing Joe Buck on the call of a baseball game, I'm like, all right, all is right with the world. Can we get Joe Buck calling baseball, please?
I've never really had an issue with him. Oh, just today. Okay, right.
Cool.
Well, we knew that, right? But thank you for sharing that, Titty, of course. Okay, I get your point.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
What was I just getting at?
Joe
Sorry.
Buck. I don't mind Joe Buck.
Yeah. So I'm kind of confused. So I personally have never had an issue with him. Stefan, you just mentioned that, you're a fan of the guy. You like to hear him call baseball games.
I do, yeah.
But on the flip side, I see a lot of comments and a lot of people seem to hate this guy. I don't really know what the hate comes from, but some people were happy that, he wasn't really doing baseball.
Well, the hate comes from Joe Buck calls it down the middle. Joe Buck doesn't lean one side or the other. He calls it like he sees it, right? And people don't like when you call it down the middle. People want you to favorite one side over the other.
That's crazy.
It's like when Mike Breen calls Knick games for national TV. Knick fans want him to be Mike Breen, the Knicks announcer. Well, he's like, no. I have to be middle. It's a national TV game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of like it when the Yankees are on national TV because you get the other side. You get the other perspective. You get to see how the other side is perceived, right? So, like, for example, I like listening to the broadcast, the away broadcast during some series. Like, I'll purposely put on the away broadcast during a series because I want to see how they perceive the team that they're covering, right? Like, I couldn't do it today because the Mets were in Houston, But I would have loved to see what the Astros thought of this Met team with all the acquisitions they made, how they stack up in the National League, how the Astros stacked up with them. Like, what was their thought process going into the game? By the way, shout out to Cam Smith for making his big league debut, speaking of young Astros. But I just love seeing the opposing side being talked about. Because to me, you get the full arc of what's happening, not just the home team, not just the team that you grew up watching, but like I kind of like seeing the other side being the game broken down from the other perspective. Right. And I think that we as fans don't appreciate that there's two sides to every coin.
Exactly.
If you're talking bad about my team, then what the hell? How about we're not gonna lick your team's crack? We're gonna call the game how we see it.
And I think that's the issue. And it's not necessarily an issue, right? Like if you're a baseball fan who just genuinely stands behind his one team through it all, then I respect it, right? Because you're still watching the game at the end of the day, because all it takes is for you to be interested in one team. But I think that's also how you kind of like keep yourself in a bubble in terms of like knowing about the game and knowing a little more than what you and everybody else who's also a fan of that team or who may cover that team as well thinks. Because now when you have people like myself and you, Stefan, where we say something that's, not something that you would typically hear, especially when you're a fan of your team and you're watching a game via that broadcast, it sounds like we're coming out of left field with it. But more often than not, we're really not, like it comes from a standpoint of knowing what we're saying.
It also comes from the standpoint of watch the games. Don't get sidetracked by what you think you heard. Watch the games. Put yourself in these players and these managers and everybody's shoes, right? You know what I did today? I watched the Marlins-Pirates game, but I watched the Pirates broadcast because they were the team on the road. So I wanted to see how the Pirates were going to handle this late game situations. You got the lead. What were the announcers saying? How are they going about it? And they kept saying, listen, you have to – the first out of every inning is so pivotal. You know what I mean? Like the first out of every inning is so pivotal, especially when you're on the road. And I'm going to say something shocking. That Miami Marlin crowd today was nuts. They were nuts in Miami today.
I got to check that out because I can't believe it. But if you're saying it, I got to see it.
That is nuts how crowd that was today. Now it's opening day. This is going to last for 2 days, and then they're going to go back to living on Miami.
Yeah.
But they showed out today. It was cool. TD left some Miguel Vargas comment here. OPS get traded to the Royals at the deadline. Okay. fellas, if not a lockout, we'll see payrolls get cut in a hurry. Though MLB, we headed for a lockout though, Shrek.
Yeah, that's
we headed for a lockout, buddy. You watch the Marlins, LOL. That's what's up. Respect to you for that. Nah, you gotta watch the fish.
I mean, TD, are you really surprised, man? You've been around here for some time now. So there's no surprise that we're here talking about all these different teams tonight.
We watch everybody, bro. I'm not
right.
We're not just sitting here talking about the teams that we watch everybody. I tell you one thing, that Texas Rangers bullpen needs a major shakeup in about right now. Right now. Because they look hopeless in the ninth inning.
Speaking of the Rangers, I've heard a couple of things over like the past couple of days, not just about the Rangers, but just baseball takes in general, right? Like I've heard some people say that they got the Rangers making it to the World Series. I've also heard some people say that they got the Yankees missing the playoffs completely. I've heard some very, very interesting takes between the last show and tonight's live. And listen, I respect them all, right? But some of these things weren't things that I heard prior to hearing it over the past few days.
Well, people are always gonna say something to get the biggest reaction, right? If the Texas Rangers don't figure out that bullpen, you could kiss those World Series dreams goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
Because bullpens in the regular season are gonna save you from having to do a lot. And Bruce Bochy will figure it out. He's been around the game a long time. He's one guy that you don't worry about figuring it out. He's going to figure it out. This is what he does. That guy is a professional of professionals. So I'm not worried about them per se. My only argument would be this. You're leaning on a lot of inexperience right now. I'm surprised David Robinson is still not signed by somebody. David Robinson should be signed to a big league team.
Yes.
The amount of veteran leadership he provides, David Robinson should be a Philly right now.
He's also not bad either for his age. Like, say what you want, he's an older guy, but so is Kirby Yates, right? Who went to the Dodgers
and got paid. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, David Robertson for sure deserves a job.
He should be pitching in the big leagues at some point. And, maybe it's him just trying to bite his time, see who's a real contender, see who's really going to make a run for it. Maybe that's him doing that, picking out his options before he goes to the next destination. But I will say this, right? TD leaves a comment here.
Am I still believing in the Yanks? Okay, so to start off with my response, I want to start like this. How I viewed them prior to the Cole injury is not how I view them now. So I'm not going to sit here and say that, I'm as high as I once was with them. Mm-hmm. Do I still think they're a team that are going to finish above 500? Yes. Mm-hmm. Would it surprise me if they don't win the East and they end up having to make the playoffs via a wild card spot? No, that wouldn't surprise me. But to miss the playoffs, listen, I know that the Yankees are dealing with some injuries right now, but I still think to go that far, I think they need probably another injury or two to happen to really count them out completely.
See, but this is where me and you differ.
So you got them missing then.
I can see them missing.
Because if you say that, then there's I see them get in, but barely.
No,
it's either yes or no.
No, I can see them missing the playoffs.
Okay.
And the reason why that is because you're asking a lot of guys that haven't done it consistently enough. Like Cody Bellinger's upside, I get why the Yankee fans and the Yankees are tantalized with him. I get why people are saying, if Cody figures it out and, Jazz in Yankee Stadium, that's a lot of what ifs. The reason why I got the Yankees as of today, fringe wild card, probably missing the playoffs altogether, is because I don't think the lineup's deep enough. How are you going to score runs? You're not going to be able to win every game 4-2, 4-3. You got to score some runs. And I just, does Paul Goldschmidt still have something left in the tank? Jason, is he going to be the guy that Yankee fans all hoped he'd be? You're asking a lot for a lot of guys who are unproven, right? So my point is, this is why I was clamoring for them to go get another bat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was clamoring for them to go get another bat because when you look at it from this perspective, they might have, fifth or sixth best lineup, probably in baseball, probably fifth in the American League.
Yeah.
The lineup isn't crazy. I look at other teams' lineups and I'm like, yeah, that lineup, they're going to be really good. We talked about Baltimore today. The Texas Rangers lineup we expect to be really good. That Red Sox lineup is going to be really good, right? I just don't know where the Yankees are going to score enough runs from. Now, are they more athletic? Yes. Are they more, can they take the extra base? Yes. But you're putting a lot of pressure on that bullpen to be perfect. You're putting a lot of pressure on those starters to be perfect. I think there's a chance that if everything doesn't go according to plan, and they're not going to pitch the Judge. They're not pitching the Judge because there's nothing behind him to make you feel like, we have to pitch to him. right? Like this is why today I was so excited to see Volpe hit that home run, see Austin Wells hit the home run, to see them come out the gate and like, all right, we're not waiting for big fella to carry us. Let's come out here and let's make a
Yeah.
statement for ourselves.
Those are the guys. So I did some thinking, right, when it comes to the Yankees earlier today. And I know a lot of people, there's nothing wrong with this take, right? But a lot of people, they mentioned Judge, they mentioned Goldie, they mentioned Bellinger. Like, listen, these are guys who are already established. Now, Judge is Judge. Obviously, you're hoping that Bellinger and guys like Goldschmidt can
Right.
still provide you something.
Mhm.
So my focus isn't on them too much, if that makes sense. But you mentioned Anthony Volpe, Austin Wells, and a third guy that I would like to see step it up as well. I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm asking for too much, but Jason Dominguez, I'm sorry. There's no way you were shoving this guy down our throats for how many years now? And I'm not trying to say that this is going to happen, but it is also possible, right? We have to be realistic. If he falls short of what he's supposed to be, boy, oh boy.
I'm gonna tell you.
I could see them missing the playoffs.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. If I don't get a 30-30 season under Jason Dominguez, hype done. And this is coming from a Jason guy.
Year one? So you give him 1 year?
No, you didn't even get 1 year.
Well, you gotta let him play a full season, bro. Because he's played at this level.
30-30 out the shoot. You're that gifted. What are we playing around for, bro? We've been hearing about you since you were 15.
Right. That's
enough.
Point. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, but we got to give him time. No. Enough. 30-30 out the shoot. You're that gifted. Stop playing. Enough. Oh, but no. Him, Volpe, Wells, Chisholm, they all got to be unbelievable. If they're not, you ain't doing nothing. You ain't. Because Judge, he ain't carrying you. Goldie, he ain't carrying you. Giancarlo Stanton's elbows are more arthritic than my legs. He's done. What are we doing? Like, you got, like, this is why I like the Red Sox lineup. You look at that Red Sox
lineup. Wait. Hold on. Speaking of Dominguez, you see what TD says here? Dominguez sucks. Really? Wow.
Wait. See, hold on. I can't say that because we haven't seen him play for a full season.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's what I'm saying. We got to give him the full season, bro.
Okay, well then, all right, here's what I'll tell you then. I at least have to see flashes of what made you tantalizing enough for the Yankees to want to pay you almost $6 million when you were 16 years old.
But in a way, I want to add on to your point and you talking about why you want to see him with a 30-30 season, right? Here's my thing, right? Anthony Volpe, for example, he's a guy who has shown that he could be a 2020 type of player. Volpe, if you're going to be that, by all means, continue to be that. And continue to be good with the glove at short.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Dominguez, on the other hand, not Jason Dominguez. I'll get into him after. Chisholm, are you a guy that could do 30-30
right.
in Yankee Stadium? I think playing in Yankee Stadium is definitely better for his swing.
Right.
As opposed to his time with the Marlins.
Right.
So I think he could be a little better. But Jason Dominguez, his potential is better than both. And I'm sorry, I know people like to throw age around. Oh, well, he's too young. He hasn't played a full season.
Yeah, about none.
Listen, when you promote a guy as much as the Yankees have and Major League Baseball has as well, it's put up or shut up.
You know what? I'm going to admit this. I don't ever admit nothing like this. But I'm going to admit it right here in front of family and the world. It's personal for me. You know why? Because I was the one that was telling everybody, yo, this kid's going to be a freak. This kid's going to be special. This kid got gifts. Publicly, when we didn't know who the hell he was, I would see video and I'm like, oh my God. If the skills tantalize to the point where we all think like, yo, damn, he could be special. That's why Soto's not here. You are the reason why Juan Soto is not wearing pinstripes, other than the fact that he wanted to be a Met. Because I think the Yankees would have gone further if they didn't have no other options. They got options, which is why I was fine with letting Soto walk in the first place, because I'm like, why would I pay Soto when I can pay this kid? Why?
Yeah, I remember when you said that last year, and a couple of people who have been supporting the show for some time now, they were like, yo, your boy Stefan is wilding, man. Like, what is he talking about? But
Right.
at the end of it all, it made sense.
Listen, no, that's not true. That is what we hope can happen in the future. I'm not saying for him to protect Judge this year, no. But when you talk about gifts, right? I'm talking about pure gifts. This guy has the ability to be one of the best offensive players in the game in the next year and some change. I'm not here to coddle. No more coddling. Enough. How many times have you heard that with prospects? Oh, this guy's going to be the next blah, 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 blah.
I hate it, dude. I hate it.
The only way you learn is if you get thrown in the fire with both feet.
Right.
I'm throwing you in the fire with both feet.
Right. And I also want to say this as well. When it comes to a guy like Jason Dominguez, it's more than just this season, right? Like, I know how important winning is right now with the current roster and the age that some of these, the ages, I should say, that some of these guys are at now.
Right, yeah.
So the window is definitely closing, right?
See, but that's why
Jason Dominguez is supposed to be a part of, I should say, what's next.
Core. Yeah, the core.
Right. He's post Judge. He's post Stanton.
Mm-hmm.
He's post Garrett Cole.
Yep.
Like, this is a guy who you want him to have a hell of a season in 2025 and beyond.
Mm-hmm. So this is what I'm saying, right? Like, I would have liked to see Jason Dominguez come up with a team like the Nationals, because it's nothing but young players that can develop and grow, which is why I kept yelling at the time. And I'm sorry if this comes across, the Monday morning quarterback. This ain't no Monday morning quarterback, because you heard me say this when it was happening. The worst thing that can happen to these kids is when you re-sign Aaron Judge, because now your window gets accelerated. When you didn't try to move on from Garrett Cole, your window gets accelerated, right? My point is bringing back older players, signing a Goldschmidt, your window gets accelerated, right? Where you're not letting these kids develop. And I get it. This is New York. We don't have the patience to let these kids develop. So I get where that's a thing, right? But in all reality, that's part of the problem. Because look at what the Red Sox are doing with Tristan Campbell, Roman Anthony, and the other kid. I forgot his name. There's three of them. Marcelo Meyer.
Right.
They're letting them develop.
Well, Campbell actually made the roster.
But I'm saying, we've been hearing about these kids in Boston for a few years. Yo, they got three, right? They didn't rush these kids up to the big leagues. These kids.
Here's my thing, though, right? You're talking about those three, and you're right. We have been hearing them for some time now. But the way that people have been talking about Jason Dominguez, like, it wasn't even just the Yankee thing, bro. That's my point. Like, it was Major League Baseball ranking him so high.
Right.
He's number one this. I think this season, I don't think he's top 10 anymore, is he? Right? I think he dropped below.
Nah, because he lost his I think he's close to losing his eligibility status because he's been in the big leagues for so long. He might have.
Yeah.
I think he was number two. He was the number two prospect in the Yankee system coming into this year.
Right. Okay.
Because Spencer Jones took the number one spot.
So. Yeah. No, I was thinking more overall, the entire league. That's why.
Again, so you asked this question a couple shows ago. I'm not answering this question yet.
Okay, you're asking me right now, TD. Right now, Jason Dominguez. Jason Dominguez.
I can't answer that because I don't even know what Jason is, and I don't know what Roman is yet either.
But that's why I'm going based off the very, and I want to say this again, the very little bit that we know about both of these guys. Now, TD, I think that would be a great question, not just now, but at the end of the season. Ask me how, after we see both Dominguez and Anthony perform for the teams that they play for.
Yeah.
And I might have a different answer, bro.
I can't answer that because I haven't seen both of them play at the big league level. Where I want to see both of them in the big leagues at the same time before I can make a comp.
But if you just go based off what both guys did in the minors, right? That's why I specified right now.
I don't care about their minor league numbers. Not to be disrespectful, but that don't mean nothing to me. You're talking about playing in the big leagues against grown men that are throwing 100 miles an hour with the most disgusting off-speed fastball. Do it in the big leagues, both of them at the same time, and then we can judge who's better. Because I have no problem saying, Roman Anthony might be the better player than Jason Dominguez.
Neither do I. No,
I have no issue saying that. And it seems like you're trying to pull a gotcha moment where you're trying to get us to choose.
Nah, not yet. Because like I said, it's not something where if just because I'm saying this doesn't mean that I'm not open to saying Roman Anthony towards the end of the season. It's one of those things where you have to let time go by and let things play out.
Also, who's to say that, because I always used to say this, right? I always used to have a saying that development is not linear. It always goes in like circular and ups and downs and peaks and valleys. Development is not linear. So what I'm saying is I don't care about, what the projections say, because how many times do we get projections wrong?
All the time.
Where we thought, this guy's going to be unbelievable. This guy has the skills to be next level. This guy, no, we don't know any of that. Now, I would respect it if you came out and said, CD, if you came out and said, I'm speaking as a Red Sox fan. I think as a Red Sox fan, Roman Anthony is going to be better than Jason Dominguez. If you specified your comment with that, I respect it more. Say that. You're a Red Sox fan. I would respect it if you said, as a Red Sox fan, I think he's going to be better than Jason Dominguez.
Well, I also want to ask you this question, TD, right? Because do you view Jason Dominguez how you view him now after seeing him and how he plays the outfield? Because I could see how some people have taken a step back when it comes to him.
So then,
because they probably had thought that he was well all around.
So then,
and now that they've seen him play just a few games, it's a small sample size.
Right.
But people are probably leaning towards, maybe the bat is where he's really going to make up for it,
So then, how many times have we said this about players in the big leagues that have below average defenders but kill with the bat?
Juan Soto. I mean, he's not a prospect anymore, but
Rafael Devers.
Yeah, exactly.
Same shit. So I'm supposed to look at Rafael Devers differently as a player because defensively he's bad? He's been bad. Don't mind me. I got one eye on the stream and I got one eye on the Duke Arizona game. So don't mind me.
Yo, by the way, guys, are any of you guys? I'm not into the college ball. Stefan tells me all the time, get into it. It's the real deal.
It's better than the NBA. Yes.
But are any of you guys like keeping up with these college basketball games? How you guys feel about it? Like, are any of your teams still involved?
Now, for full disclosure, I've been a Duke fan since I was like 7 years old. Like this ain't just happened overnight. So. I can't say that yet. I haven't seen Jason play a full season. I can't say that yet. Listen, you haven't watched him in the big leagues. Respectfully, you have not watched him in the big leagues. I cannot listen. If you had, am I making sense? Like, you could do it in the minor leagues all day. You could do it in the minor leagues all day. But respectfully, that's not the big leagues.
Right. And we see players do it all the time at the minor league.
How many times do you see a player be what they call quadruple A, where he could kill it in triple A, he can't cut it in the big leagues?
Who, not now that we're on this Yankees, Red Sox thing, who was the prospect a few seasons ago who the Yankees had? I believe he was in the outfield. Stefan, help me out here, man. I think they moved on from the guy by now. He was an outfielder. I believe he was Dominican. He had some good years.
Rusney Castillo?
No. Red Sox, not Red Sox. Yankees. You know who I'm talking? I can't remember the name right now, but
Holy
that's why.
shit!
If any of you guys are watching right,
Esteban Florial.
yes, Esteban Florial.
Yeah.
If you look at his numbers in the minors, he had some years that were good.
He was
at the minor league level, but come getting promoted, finally putting on the actual pinstripe uniform, he just couldn't put it together. Like, these things happen, and it's fairly normal. And also, too, TD, I want to say this. You know, you've been a fan of the show for quite some time, bro. And not a fan, a supporter. You part of the family, bro.
Word.
So I want to start off by saying that.
Word.
Well, you know this. You know damn well, TD. You know damn well. Not all of those guys are going to turn out to be who the Red Sox want them to be. I'll tell you that.
That you hope they'll be.
Now, I'll tell you that much.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Oh, this guy's going to be better than that guy.
No,
we have to see as the season progresses.
But
I'll tell you right now, straight up, not all of them are going to be who you want them to be. And that's a fact.
No, I will tell you, right? Like, maybe Jason doesn't turn out to be the guy that we're all hoping he's going to be, and that's fine. And I'm willing to come on here and admit, yo, I got that one wrong. It's cool. I'm not saying that my projection is always right. Listen, who was the dude a couple years ago? You remember Aristides?
Aristides Aquino from the Reds.
Yo, he came up. They were talking about, yo, this guy was going to be the next Ricky Henderson. He got powered all fields. He's going to be ridiculous. Remember when Yasiel Puig first came up? And they're like, yo, Yasiel Puig, he's going to be unbelievable. What has Yasiel Puig done? Yasiel Puig is playing in Korea right now.
This right here, I don't think this happened, Shrek. That's
nah.
You telling me the Red Sox go 3 for 3 and the Yankees strike out on Dominguez? I'm not saying that the Yankees can't strike out on Dominguez, because they can. But you're saying that the Red Sox are going to go 3 for 3 with those guys? Nah, man.
If they do, that's great. I'm not saying that. See, everybody wants to be. They want to jump off the bandwagon after a small sample size, right? I'm not gonna sit there and kill Jason Dominguez off of seeing him play less than 40 games in the big leagues.
Right.
I can't do that. Just like I can't hype up Tristan Campbell if he has a good 50 games. I can't hype up Roman Anthony if he's hitting 400 in the minor league. I can't do that, because you got to come up here and do it, right? Like, for example, also, this is a very important point, right? Very important point needs to be made right here, right? Somebody mentioned Jackson Holliday. You know why Jackson Holliday is never going to reach his full potential with the Orioles? Because the Orioles wanted faster than he was ready to give it.
Right.
Called this kid up at 20 years old. What you think was going to happen? Some people can't handle being in the big leagues at 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And also, his dad is Matt Holliday, dog. You know the pressure he's under to be a solidified hitter and player when your father is Matt Holliday? Like, don't sleep. Matt Holliday in his prime was one of them.
Yes, he was.
He was one of them. Like, don't act like he wasn't one of them. That's like asking, and I know this is a different case, but that's like saying, yo, Bronny James is a bum because Bronny James, like, come on.
A lot of people have already written him off, though, but he's been having some games that aren't all that
bad. Which is stupid, because the kid is 18 years old, had a heart defect. We don't know what he got. We don't know what this kid got. But the only reason why we put the pressure we put on him is because he's LeBron James's son. It's not fair to these dudes. It's like when Vladdy first came up. Remember when Vladdy Guerrero first came up? And we're like, yo, we think he's going to be better than his dad. Do you know who this man's father was, bro?
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you understand how crazy you got to be to say that man is going to be better than his dad? You sound nuts right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was one of them dudes. He was one of them dudes. Yo, this guy was playing cricket when the rest of us was playing baseball, hitting home runs with balls off his shoe tops, bro.
Yeah, I was going to say, in this case, speaking about the two of them, I respect Vladdy Jr.'s bat, right? But Vladdy Jr. doesn't have the arm that his father had, right? Like, Vladdy Jr. doesn't have the speed that his father had in his early days. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
His father was just more of a complete player. And we all know that, right? Like a lot of you guys who are watching right now, if I had to take a guess, I'm pretty sure you guys have been watching baseball long enough to know that, what I'm stating is true.
It's true. Like, I also look at it this way. You know who I felt, you know who I hope kills it and has a year of years, bro? I hope all those kids kill it. I want Marcelo Mayer to come up here and be an unbelievable baseball player. I want Tristan Campbell for the Red Sox to kill it. I want a Roman Anthony to come up here and kill it. You know why? Because I'm a baseball fan first who loves the game. If these kids come up here and do their job, guess what? It gives us something to talk about.
Okay, so TD, thank you for all the comments, bro. Here's my thing. Because what you're saying with this, and this is what I'm understanding, right? What I'm taking away from this is that you believe all three of these guys are going to be able to figure it out. And I'm only saying this because of your words here, right? You said by the end of the season, like not only are you saying that, these guys are going to be good, but you're saying that they're all just going to suddenly figure it out in year one. You know that's not how baseball works, bro. Can one or two figure it out? Yeah. But to have all three in sync and it's just a perfect world for the Boston Red Sox, that's not how baseball is played, bro. You know that, TD.
Yeah. And also, too,
I'm not trying to rain on your parade. I'm with Stefan. Like, I would love for all three of those guys to turn out to be exactly who you want them to be, and the Red Sox as well. But it might take maybe one guy just this year. It might take two of them another 2-3 seasons until we see their full potential.
Right. And also, too, like injuries also play a part in this. Health is a major component of this. You're hoping that these kids stay healthy enough to be able to say, I made a significant impact on my ball club in year 1, year 2. And then also, what happens after you give these kids this money, right? After you lock up one or two of these kids to extensions, do they play the same? Is the hunger still the same? Do they want to be great at their prospective positions? That's a lot to ask.
And you're proving your point right here, Stefan. Sorry, but I want to show this. This is exactly why, bro.
Yes.
Things happen. Things happen.
Like, two things that are working against Jason Dominguez. Jason Dominguez had Tommy John surgery, right? Didn't he hurt himself? He hurt himself. Yeah, he had Tommy John, but he also had an injury in the minor leagues too that he was dealing with at one point. Also, they had the pandemic, right? I think Jason would have been in the big leagues at the beginning of 2021 if it wasn't for the pandemic. I think he's in the big leagues at 18, 19 years old, circa Bryce Harper. But development is not linear. You get hurt. You go through different phases in your career. Like before he was called up last season, he was on a stretch, man, where this guy was unbelievable. And then what happened? He hurts his oblique. He gets shut down for 8 weeks. So he's not playing baseball. He's not able to do what we all expect him to do. So that comes with time. And you have to come into it with an open mind that, one of these kids, if not multiple of these kids, will probably fail. You probably only get one that's going to turn out to be what you think he's going to be.
Right. And I'm glad you're emphasizing that, Stefan, because again, guys, you guys know us, right? There's no shade, man. If we're wrong, we're wrong. We'll come on the show and even say it to you guys.
Right.
We'll even give you guys credit, for
sure.
stating something in a chat.
Yeah.
But listen, you guys know how the game is played. You guys know that the failure rate is in terms of percentages is much higher than the rate at being successful at that sport.
So
at the professional level.
Just think about this. Just think about this, bro. We're talking about hitting 300 as a Hall of Fame career.
Right.
You know what happens when you hit 300?
You fail 7 times.
7 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
Bro, what are we talking about?
Mm-hmm. And
What are we?
forget 300. Like nowadays, you hit
If
250.
you hit
They praising
260,
yeah.
you the next coming of that dude.
It's like what you want. Sign right here, you know? I feel like once upon a time, 300 was more of a thing that players aimed for, but
it's
I don't even think that that's as common as it once was anymore.
for example, right? Like it's now acceptable that you can hit 240 in the big leagues, but if you hit 35, 40 home runs, you're probably one of the best players in the game. So not even 300 is acceptable. Now you're failing like more like 7.5 out of 10 times, and you still could be considered one of the best players in the game.
Like Kyle Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber is a guy who hits for very low average, but he's gonna hit like 40 home runs. Yep. He's gonna have a respectable on-base percentage, and that's where he makes up for the other things that he's not all that good. Defense, average, speed.
It's like Soto. Soto's a great hitter. He's a horrible defender. He's a horrible base runner. He is, you know what I mean? Like, it's a proven fact.
Yeah.
Right? Like, for example, you just mentioned Kyle Schwarber. There's another guy I want to mention that we watched play growing up. Damn, what was his name?
What team did he play for?
Holy shit. Well, he was a good hitter, but this guy couldn't hold a glove if it was right in his palm. Damn. I forgot where he played, but he was, you got guys that are offensive machines that can't do nothing when it comes to a glove.
Mm-hmm.
Big Papi, prime example. Big Papi at first base is like me trying to take steps. I don't want to see that. I want to see him pick up a bat, get his 4 ABs, get the hell out. Get the hell out. What are we doing with this? Right?
So there's a comment here that I want to highlight. And I kind of feel like he's coming from the standpoint of being a Boston Red Sox fan.
Mm-hmm.
But TD says that he believes, which we know about this, the Rays winning the East. You shared that with us. And then he thinks it's going to be a Red Sox-Dodgers World Series. Are you that high on the Red Sox? Not yet, bro.
Nah, I think the Red Sox are a couple years away. I
think they're still lacking a little bit in the rotation.
I think the rotation leaves something to be desired.
And there's a couple of teams, not even a couple, there's a few actually in the American League alone who have a better bullpen than the Red Sox do.
What I will say is I can see the Red Sox making life miserable for somebody when it comes to July, August, and September.
Yeah,
you don't want to go in there for a 3-game series. That will not be fun. I don't want to deal with that. That I will give you. But to sit there and say that they're going to make a run for it, that's a little bit premature. Also, because we don't know what these other teams are going to do around them. What if Baltimore goes out and gets Dylan Cease? What if Texas goes out and trades for, I don't know, give me a closer. They trade for Jeremiah Estrada from the Padres and they got the 9th inning figured out now.
Mm-hmm.
That changes the equation, right? Do I believe that right now the Red Sox and Rays are better than the Yankees, in my humble opinion? Yes. Because even with Shane McClanahan being out for maybe the next, I want to say 4 to 6 weeks, the Rays pitching staff is still unbelievable. You're talking about, Shane Baz. You're talking about, who's the other kid? Taj Bradley. You're talking about some guys now.
Well, that's the one thing that has always separated the Rays from the rest of the American League, right? Is, yeah, they may not have the names or the superstars in their lineup, but they're going to outpitch you, right? To their defense, they're going to pitch well against those great hitters that they don't have, but knowing that the opponents will have. And that's what's going to keep them in ball games at the end of the day, is that pitching staff.
No doubt. And they always have a makeshift bullpen. They figure out how to make a bullpen. Kevin Cash, that's what he does. You know what I mean? Like, they make bullpen. Like, Pete Fairbanks is still there. They got weapons. It's not like you can say, oh, the Rays don't have the weapons. They don't have the requisite skill set. They make it work. And if there's a player that if there's a player or if there's a team that can get the most out of whatever they're looking for, it's the Rays. We've seen them do this time after time. Now, I have a bold idea. Shane McClanahan's already dealt with 2 elbow injuries. We said it for Jacob deGrom in the past. Why don't you just make Shane McClanahan your closer? Less stress on the arm. Now your late innings are solidified. 8th inning guy, 9th inning guy, a guy that you don't have to pitch him 5-6 innings. But what you can get is you get the bang for your buck, and you're able to, make it so that you get more out of him, and he's not spending time on the IL. Because remember, he's had 2 Tommy Johns. The third is a death curse. If you have 3, that's almost like, all right, now we don't even want to look at you.
It's like asking to be removed.
Right, yeah. So it's like, that's also a gamble, man. Like, it's a gamble. It's such a gamble when you talk about young pitching. Mm-hmm. Also, the Rays also have some other things they got to deal with, like a stadium. They got some things they got to deal with. So I get why people aren't as high on them, but man, they could be really good.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot on their plate.
They could be really good, and I'm going to tell you something right now. You know who I'm kind of like sneaky high on? And Rays, I got to give you credit. I'm not as high on them as Rays is, because Rays is really high on them. If the Tigers would have got another bat, I think it's the Tigers and Royals fighting for this division. Because I don't see. Listen, you talk about pitching. You talking about Tarek Skubal. You talking about Casey Mize. You're talking about Jackson Jobe. You're talking about Keita Montero. Yeah, like, we talk about them dudes now.
You know where I think they went wrong? And I kind of feel like they put all their eggs into one basket when they offered the deal that they had offered to Alex Bregman. Because even Bregman said it himself. He thought that, he
was going to Detroit. Yeah,
exactly. But here's my thing, right? We talked about some other guys who were also available outside of Alex Bregman, like Tyler O'Neill. We think he's going to do some great things for Baltimore. Detroit, why didn't y'all get him? Not expensive. You could afford him for sure.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? I don't think they were really as involved as they should have been.
What I would have said
to making the lineup better.
You mentioned Tyler O'Neill. Tyler O'Neill would have been a good fit for them. I'll take it.
But there's more. There's more. Go ahead.
There's a bunch of guys that you look at.
I was just throwing a random name out there.
Anthony Santander to be the DH in Detroit would have been unbelievable, bro.
That would have been nice.
Now, I don't want him playing the outfield in that yard, but you telling me as a DH he can't hit 230 and hit 35 home runs? Why not? Why can't he? Why not? The other guy that I'll talk about. See, but you're being a Red Sox fan, though. You're being a Red Sox fan.
And TD, why you saying this for, bro? He had a good year for y'all last year.
What, he hit 30 home runs? He couldn't stay on the field, which has always been his issue, health.
I don't remember the exact numbers, but
he had 30 home runs, bro. He had 30 home runs at like 72 RBIs, and he played in like 100.
He had an OPS of 847.
That's crazy.
31 home runs, 61 RBIs. You didn't enjoy that last season, TD? I'll take that.
My biggest problem is he's not healthy, right? If Tyler O'Neill's healthy, he's one of the most proud. Who cares about batting average, though, bro?
But this is a lot of players, though, nowadays, TD. And we talked about it a few minutes ago as well. Like, we were talking about, the 300 batting average and what it was, and how today you hit 260, 250, heck, even 220. They praise you, It's a different game.
Listen, they'd rather have you get your A swing off and don't care about batting average than you hit 300, hit 24 home runs, and have a 790 OPS. They do not care about batting average, bro. This isn't about productivity. If they cared about batting average, why Luis Arraez is on his fourth team in 4 years? This guy won batting titles, and you can't get a job.
He's won 3 actually.
3, and you can't get a job. Hold on now. Let's have this conversation. You won 3 batting titles, and you can't sniff any sort of sustainability.
Right.
What are we talking about?
So, okay, TD, if you're old school, that means you like a guy like a Luis Suarez, right? Because I sure like him. But if you're going to say that, then that means you're a fan of a guy like that. I mean, you have to be.
Right. But you also have to grow with the game and understand what the game is. Now, does the game do a good job of solidifying it? No. Do they do a good job of presenting it? No. Do they hide behind the mumbo jumbo of runs created plus and this and that? Yes.
Yeah. Big time.
So if they were to explain it better, you would probably be able to stomach it more. What happens is when you let the Harvard, Yale nerds in there, it becomes harder to grasp baseball from a grassroots level. Baseball becomes harder to grasp because they don't do a good job of explaining it.
Right.
Like can somebody explain to me what the hell WAR even means? How do we quantify it? What do we
Well, we know what it stands for, but I get what you mean. What are the things that you combine in order to come up with that number?
That's what I'm saying. How do you quantify that? We understand it means wins above replacement, but how do you quantify what a wins above replacement is? Because even the people that do this stuff, that study these numbers, that vote based on these specific numbers, they even tell you, yo, we can't even quantify it. We don't even know what this means. So if we're at the point where we can't quantify something to a tangible point where the general public who don't live in the nerd society of baseball can quantify what something means, don't we have to do a better job as an industry, a better job as learning the game to understand what each one of these quote unquote analytical numbers mean?
You know what I think would be good, right? And I think this is going to be a great point, Stefan. Before I get into this, shout out to all of you who are watching live right now tonight on opening day rather. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. All 3 are at 27 Outs 3C. If you're new here, make sure you hit that thumbs up on the video. Welcome. That's Stefan. I'm Ivan. This is 27 Outs. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well for more content. Where were we just now? We were talking about
WAR and all that stuff.
Right. So you see how when a batter comes up to the plate, the things that you typically see is average, home runs, RBIs, maybe OPS, maybe some slugging. But if wins above replacement, WAR, is that important? If you guys are going to shove it down people's throats for as long as you have now, and why isn't that something that you show when a batter walks up to the plate?
That's it.
So that you could get people who are watching the game to start thinking, yo, what is this new thing? They never showed this when guys are walking up to the batter's box.
Yep. For example, because TD says, yo, he likes the old school, right? How come we remember Barry Bonds, but we don't remember Tony Gwynn? I'll say that again. We remember Barry Bonds, and yes, it was steroid induced, but we understand that. We remember Barry Bonds because he was a prolific home run hitter. He, you know what I mean? We remember all of that. Tony Gwynn was hitting 330 every year. Outside of the casual baseball fan doesn't know who Tony Gwynn is. Everybody knows who Barry Bonds is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody knows who Alex Rodriguez is. Not everybody knows who Omar Vizquel is.
Yeah. All of those guys. Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire. Yeah.
Right.
I think there are more people who know those guys for what they did during their time.
So,
and that's not a knock on Tony Gwynn, but it's just reality.
it's kind of the era in which we live, right? When we start sitting here talking about, yo, but what happened to the batting average aspect, and what happened to these different aspects of the game? The league itself has stripped. The league itself has stripped the 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 importance of batting average, the importance of having a sustainable average. The league itself has stripped us of all that. Now we look at on base plus slugging. We look at how many home runs you hit. We look at how many RBIs you drive in. Look at the way lineups are constructed now. You got your best two hitters hitting in the leadoff spot or in the second spot. When we were coming up, your best hitter wasn't even hitting until maybe what, third, maybe fourth?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Second, what? Hell no. That was reserved for the Tony Gwynns. That was reserved for the Roberto Alomars. That was reserved for the dudes that were gonna annoy the shit out of you. It's not the same. It is not the same.
Shout out to Joey in the chat too.
What's up, Joe? Yeah, most don't talk about. Listen,
yeah, that's the point, because we view Gwynn how you do, TD. So there's no difference in that.
Word, Tony.
But you got to think overall for the masses, bro.
They don't view him like that. That's like when I have the Michael Jordan, LeBron James debate. To me, there will never be another basketball as good as Michael Jordan.
Yo, that is one debate, and I know we're never going to hear the end of it, especially now that LeBron is getting closer to the end. But that is one debate that I'm just so sick and tired of hearing. Like, can we? And listen, we're never going to agree on just one guy.
Yo,
sorry, I'm late. Who do we know this person or no?
Nah, yeah, I hollered at him on Twitter earlier today because he was having problems with his at bat. What's up, brother? Welcome, man.
Thank you for stopping by, bro.
Welcome to the family, brother. It's true, but you're 100% right, TD. You're making my point for me, which is, look, he says the reason viewership has gone down is because the BS nerds. Right. I agree with you, right?
And it's happening across the board in all sports.
Right.
Like and NBA, other sports as well. You got all these athletes from back then talking about like the numbers are ruining the game.
Why you think I say college is better? College basketball. Because they still back cut, they still play in the post, they still use the big man effectively, they still screen, they still run plays, they run sets, they have out of bounds plays. We're not just going down up and down the court shooting 73s a game. No. Now, granted, do they take 3-point shots? Yes, but they run a offense. They run a system. There's a way. There's a reason why things are done the way that they're done. And so now in sports, it's easy to say, yo, but this is what sells. So this is what we're gonna do. Like everybody wants the guy with the prodigious power numbers, the home run hitting guy. You know what I mean? It's what I'm saying is it's a lot harder to, and you know what the reality of it is? And because I want to get to predictions, these guys are making way more money. You think they care what happens, bro? Because at the end of the day, guess what? The check going clear.
Mm-hmm.
The check going clear whether they go 1 for 4, 4 for 4, 0 for 5. The check is gonna clear. So why I'm gonna break my ass? For what?
And so much of it is guaranteed as well, too,
Listen, you know why? You know what'll change baseball and all the other sports? If you do like football. Put non-guarantees in each one of these contracts and you see how fast these dudes start caring about the game.
Right? They start suiting up like never before. You said, oh, you want me to play 140 plus games? Say no more.
and my contract becomes guaranteed in the next season? Word? Right. All right. What? Why you think market? And again, I'm bringing back a name that's gonna get me killed. Why you think Marcus Stroman said at the beginning of the season, I'm a starter? 140 innings, $18 million vesting option. What are we talking about? What do you want that man to say? Oh, I'm just a pitcher. You said how much money's on the line for me?
Right.
18 million. I'm a starter, dude. Let me get those innings eaten up real quick. You crazy? And that's what it boils down to. What it boils down to is these guys are making way too much money. Why do you think LeBron talks the way he talks? LeBron a billionaire. He's still playing basketball. Mike had to earn the respect of his peers. Listen, Mike says something on The Last Dance, and I'm leaving now. Mike says something at The Last Dance. He says, you know why people buy my shoes? Because I averaged 30 points a game, and I was 6 for 6 in the finals. That's why people buy my shoes. If I was a no-name dude at the end of the bench, I don't care how fire the silhouette is, nobody's buying my shoes.
That's true.
So
that is true.
Oh, hold on. We got a Strowman defender in here. You're not alone, bro.
Wow, that's interesting,
You're
man.
not alone, bro.
I haven't really heard anybody say something like that. By the way, UAB, I'm actually a Strowman fan.
Yes.
Not as high as I once was because he's not really that same guy. But for you to leave that comment and to say that he's a strong starter at that, like you finished it off with that.
So I want to. Is there a reason why ESPN dropped Major League Baseball? TD, not to do this to you, but we did talk about this in a previous video.
No, I think he's saying that there is a reason. I don't think he's asking like. You see, if you reread it.
Oh yeah, well, that could be it. ESPN's also a trash network. You know what I mean? ESPN's also a trash network. When you're paying Stephen A. Smith $20 million to yell at me for 2 hours,
right?
They're trash. All right, prediction time.
Yeah, we got to get into it because we're still gonna chat with you guys in the chat, so don't stop yet. But we're getting closer to wrapping up, guys. But before we even get to that point, I do want to sit here and say tonight has been fun. I don't know if you feel the same way, Stefan, but
I'm having a
lot of fun.
Yeah.
I know a lot of you guys have lives outside of enjoying the show in regards to entertainment. But it has been a while since we've had this many people watching, commenting as well, engaging, whatever you want to call it.
It's buzzing in here.
So let's keep it up for the last few minutes, and let's get these predictions in terms of awards.
My rookie of the year in the American League, I'm gonna go with one of the Red Sox. I'm gonna go with Roman Anthony as my American League rookie of the year.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go with one of them as well, but I was gonna go Christian Campbell.
Tristan Campbell, we can go. Okay, cool. The National League, that's kind of tough because I'm like.
So last year, I said this with a lot of confidence too. I remember I was like, "Yo, Yamamoto's gonna win." I'm not gonna sit here and say Sasaki's winning. So I want to stop that before anybody tries to have conversations regarding that. I'm not going the Sasaki route. But now that I think about it, I have to really see who would I go. Do you have one, Stefan, already or not?
In the National League, I want to go so far away from the Dodgers because that's so easy. Right. I'm gonna go with somebody local. I'm gonna go with Luis Angel Acuna for National League Rookie of the Year.
Oh, I like that. I like that, man. I'm a fan of him. I'm definitely a fan of him, and it wouldn't surprise me if he somehow ends up winning the award. Because I think he could play a big role for the Mets. I think he could for sure.
Razor makes a good point. Dylan Crowes in DC. That's a nice pick.
I don't know who to go with, bro. The National League Rookie of the Year, man. I truly don't. It's not that easy for me.
It's tough.
So I have my other picks in the National League pretty much set. Like I already mentioned, I got Paul Skeens winning the NL Cy Young Award. I got Ohtani winning MVP again. That's obvious, but maybe you might want to spice it up and be different. I don't know. Or also you guys as well. Like, let us know what you think too.
So Ohtani is Ohtani. It feels like such a slam dunk, but I can't bet against it because this guy's a freak.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Yeah.
In the American League, I got Gunnar Henderson winning American League MVP this year.
Gunnar Henderson.
Yeah.
I got Bobby Witt. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
Bobby Witt. Like
Yeah.
I wanna say Judge. I'm
No,
gonna
I
be
don't.
honest.
I don't.
But if I had to choose someone outside of Judge, I go Bobby Witt Jr.
I just feel like Gunner's gonna have a year, man.
Gunner's good. Gunner could easily finish top 3, top 5. You know, I think he's already done it. I could be wrong, but I think Gunnar Henderson has already finished that high.
Yeah.
Brett Beatty, nah, man. Yo, realistically speaking, man, how many chances are the Mets gonna give Brett Beatty? He's another one of those guys, and we talked about it earlier tonight, Stefan. Listen, you got to be able to do it at the big league level. Like you could do it in the minor leagues. Brett Beatty is a guy who has done it at that level, but still hasn't been able to show the Mets what he could do.
I just think certain people can't handle New York. I just think certain people can't handle the bright lights of the big city of New York. I'm gonna be honest. I would like to see a guy like Brett Beatty, you know, put him with the Nationals, put him in Atlanta. Put him somewhere where you know they're going to get the most out of him as a younger player. Put him somewhere where you know he's going to flourish. You know why I would like to see Brett Beatty right now, believe it or not? And I usually wouldn't pick this spot. I like Brett Beatty in Cincinnati.
Right.
You know why? Terry Francona is the manager there. Terry Francona, you got a bunch of young players, but he can figure it out. Do they do that? Maybe not. But that's the type of place where you could see somebody going. American League MVP, I got Gunnar Henderson, but I wouldn't be mad if Bobby Witt won it. I'm just tired of seeing Aaron Judge win MVPs and not do shit in the playoffs.
I know, yeah.
So,
right.
Fuck his MVP hopes and dreams because I don't care about that. AL Cy Young.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that. Yeah.
AL Cy Young to me.
I think we get a two-peat. I think Tariq Skubal wins it again.
I'm gonna go with his teammate. I'm gonna go with
the youngster.
I'm gonna go with Jackson Jobe. Jackson Jobe stuff is nasty, yo.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why he's already made it.
His stuff is nasty. But if you want to go more solidified route, because you went Skubal, one of those kids in Tampa got something to say about it too, though. Whether it's Boz or Bradley, or if Shane McClanahan comes back healthy,
I've seen what he could do. We've seen it before, actually, not just me, but
my man's in the building, Mr. White Sox fan. Yes, no, we saw what your Sox did.
Yeah, we mentioned them earlier tonight.
Out here being all types of disrespectful out here.
Thank you for stopping by.
Know what I mean?
Brett Beatty as a red
wouldn't be a bad thing. You know what I mean? He picking up what I'm putting down out here. I like that. So I don't know. I'm not gonna go with Jackson Jobe. That would be the easy pick. I'm gonna go with Shane McClanahan if he's healthy. If he comes back healthy, I think he.
All right, that's a nice little dark horse.
No, I mean,
even though I think I could see Shane McClanahan being better off, maybe winning like AL Comeback Player of the Year.
Could be.
Because I've got him for that, and then in the National League, I got Sandy with the Marlins, Sandy Alcantara. I think he wins National League Comeback Player of the Year.
Well, he's gonna win American League Comeback Player of the Year because he ain't pitching for the Marlins past July.
Right. But the thing is, though, for him to be able to still show that he is still one of those guys, not just in the National League, but in Major League Baseball, he's got to have a season.
I'm going to tell you something right now. I would love it if the Orioles would have taken a shot on him. He's
for sure.
The Orioles could use a guy like that. Where you're like, all right, bro, you're gonna anchor the top of the rotation for us. He would be big in Baltimore, man.
Right.
He would be.
What else are we missing? We did Cy Young. We did Rookie of the
MVP.
Year, MVPs. Who are your comeback players of the year?
Comeback player of the year. Who you had?
I said I got Shane McClanahan in the American League, and then I got Sandy Alcantara in the National League.
That's you know what? Those ain't bad picks. Those ain't bad picks at all. I think I'm gonna rock with you. I kind of like that. I like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those are two solid picks. All right, the fun one, man. Who you got in the series? You know what I mean?
So you know, I gotta say it how it is, right? I got the Dodgers. I've been saying it, you know, since the moment they won last season. I continue to say it during the off season. Because for those of you who have been supporting the channel now, you know, we covered almost damn near everything in the off season and more, I must say, right? And all along I was saying Dodgers this, Dodgers that. You know, I still got the Dodgers in the World Series.
I wouldn't blame you.
In the American League, this is the tricky part, right? Because before Gerrit Cole went down, I was like, I could see the Yankees making it back there, but not so much anymore. And here's what I'm going to do, right? I'm not going to pick one team, but I'm going to give 3 teams.
Nah, he hedging his bet.
It's hard, bro. It's hard. I think it's that difficult.
He hedging his bet. All right.
I'm gonna give you 3 teams.
I got one.
If you got one, go ahead. Share your one.
My one in the American League to make the World Series is I'm gonna go with Texas, bro. I'm gonna go with the Rangers.
Okay, that's one I got on the list. Right. I got okay. So, and I'm assuming you agree with the Dodgers, right? Like there's no.
Nah, whoever comes out of the American League is getting smoked like a loud pack on a Saturday night before they hit the club.
Yeah, he felt like a loud pack. That's funny.
He was getting smoked, bro. What is you talking about? Excuse me.
All right. So my 3 teams, I'm gonna go Rangers, as I mentioned, in the American League to be one of the teams. Outside of the Rangers, I'm gonna say Royals. I got Texas, Royals, and this is just the fan in me, which I don't do often on this show, and you guys know that. And not just you guys, but Stefan, you also know this as well. So if anybody were to say something crazy in the chat, I know you could back me up because I don't be on here tooting my Yankee horn off.
He don't.
I'll throw the Yankees in there. So I got either the Rangers, the Royals, or the Yankees in the World Series.
If the Yankees go to the World Series, two things gotta happen. One, Sandy Alcantara gotta be wearing pinstripes sometime before the season ends. And I need Carlos Correa playing third base. If I can't have both, I ain't picking them.
Okay.
And I ain't gonna have both, which is why I ain't picking them.
I feel you, bro. I feel you.
I got a sneaky surprise entrant to meet the Dodgers in the championship series.
Surprise? Who's the surprise? Is it really though?
Nah, yeah, it is.
There's a couple of teams who could meet them there.
It is, and this is gonna shock. This is gonna shock you especially.
I gotta hear it.
Terry Francona is that dude. I would not be surprised if the Reds are in the championship series against the Dodgers this year.
Wow. Okay, I wasn't expecting that.
Because you're not hiring Terry Francona for Terry Francona to just be a manager. Like you're hiring him because, you new in here, by the way.
I think I know who that is. That might be one of my boys.
What's up, bro?
That name looks familiar. He might already be subscribed though.
He might be. I just want to make sure you was in here.
That's one of my boys from middle school, bro. I've known him for a while. Shout out to Carlos.
Salute to you, bro. Shouts. The Mets. I don't like the Mets pitching, man. I need the Mets to go out and get one of them dudes.
Right.
Like if you walk away with a Cease, if you walk away with an Alcantara, if you walk away with one of them, then we could talk. But I can't put them in the conversation right now. Oh, this is a juicy one right here.
Yes, I could very much see the Dodgers and
that's
Arizona.
That's a juicy one right there, baby.
The NLCS.
Know what I mean?
I actually want that matchup.
All right. Most outlandish take. We got 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning. We are off the air in the next 2 minutes. I need an outlandish take before we hit the 2-minute warning and we say bye to y'all.
Oh, that's right up Shrek's alley, bro. He's typing it right now as we speak. He always got some crazy shit to say.
I got one.
Now's your time to shine, bro. Say something crazy.
I got one. I got an outlandish take.
Let's hear it.
Ellie De La Cruz steals 90 stolen bases.
90?
90.
I don't think he does 90.
That's not that outlandish, bro.
A's make the playoffs. Wow.
That's not that outlandish, because I can see the A's winning that division. Like, I can see them competing for that division.
Nah, really, bro? Nah, bro. Let me actually take that back, because right now, the name of what we're talking about is outlandish takes, and for the A's to win that division, that's wild. So I won't come for you. I'll take that back. My bad.
Okay.
I forgot where we were at right now.
The Mariners are going to trade 2 of their stud pitchers before we reach the deadline.
Okay. Right.
I could give you the 2. Luis Castillo and George Kirby are wearing different uniforms by the time we hit July 29th.
I can see that. Right. Yo, Shrek, that is a good one, bro. I could not have come up with that even if I.
Yo, Shrek, you belong in the Absurd Hall of Fame for that one.
You could have given me a few minutes to think of what I wanted to share, and I don't think I would have shared that.
Nah, doesn't win MVP. Yeah, all right, man. This was fun. We had fun with y'all, man. Opening day, man. Thank y'all for vibing, man. I had fun in here.
Yeah, tonight was good, man. We were we usually come into shows with an agenda. Not that we didn't have one today. But during the off season, we tried to focus on a couple of things. But here tonight, and for those of you who have been watching the show for some time now, you guys know that we're pretty diverse and we don't like to focus on just a handful of teams. And I hope we showed that yet again here tonight. As always, if you're not, make sure you go ahead and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter at 27outs3C. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already done so. It goes a long way. Continue to comment. Shout out to those of you who are watching after the fact. I know not everybody could watch the show live, but it is what it is. We still show love nonetheless. And also make sure you hit that subscribe button. We got shorts coming out, off days. As you know, that's how we spend our off days here. Yep. Any last thoughts, Stefan?
By the way, follow the TikTok and the Instagram and the Twitter for all the injury updates and all that stuff. And because if there's an injury, if there's something crazy happening, I'm gonna find it. So while this man does his shorts thing, we out here scouring the game. So follow us there, bro. But I'm done, man. Duke's up 3 right before the half. So I'm dying on the inside. I'm trying not to show it, but this second half is going to be a heart attack.
I might have to check it out.
Let's go, Duke. Peace, y'all.